This show is presented by the 323 Network. You can watch all your favorite 323 friends and shows on the 323 Network YouTube channel, follow us on all social media platforms at 323read, and support us as we continue to grow at patreon.com/323read. That's 323REID. Breaking news. Sacramento is finalizing a trade to send De'Aaron Fox to the San Antonio Spurs in a multi-team trade that moves Chicago Bulls' Zach LaVine to the Kings. I don't know. It's not as exciting. You got to do that.
It doesn't have as much splash as the other one.
You got to do that before. You have to do that before the Luka trade.
Right.
I guess real quickly,
I guess a good analogy with that one. It's like when you're playing horse. And like you hit like some crazy, behind the back, off the wall, just a ridiculous 1 in a million shot, right? And everyone goes crazy, and then I go up and I do it like we already saw that. Okay, cool, you made it, man.
You go up and you do like a really solid layup,
right?
How did you react to the news this morning? Because
confused.
That was news that like I wake up, I check my phone immediately. And, like, I'll see, like, ESPN, I'll see, like, a breaking news notification. It's usually something like, some random pitcher, throws a no-hitter. I was like, okay, that's fine. Or some, like, no-name trade. And then I looked at it. It said Luka Dončić. I was like, what? I was like, did he die? No, he got traded? That's even fucking crazier.
No, because at least the difference between the way that you found out and the way that I found out was at least you got your full 8 hours. Well, I guess. I don't know how many hours.
No, I got a good 8 hours, actually.
You got your solid 8 hours of sleep in. I was 2 hours into my sleep. I woke up. I went to the bathroom. I got a drink. I came back to bed. I just picked my phone up, started scrolling.
Oh, no.
And that's how I found out. I was like, oh, now I can't go back to sleep. So now I'm like digging into this and trying to figure everything out. And then I had seen a post-game press conference with AD. For those at home who don't know who AD is, Anthony Davis previously of the LA Lakers, now the newest member of the Dallas Mavericks in that blockbuster trade with Luka Dončić and some picks and some, I don't know. I guess they didn't want to throw Bronny in there. Poo-poo on them.
Yeah, I think it was like Max Christie.
Right, but there was a guy, I forget the line of questioning and the exact verbiage that he used, but he asked about like his tenure there in LA and like what his like legacy is going to be on after he moves on. And AD kind of like looked at him, was like, what do you mean? Did I get traded or something? And then some guy like off camera just said, check your phone. So I guess he said it as kind of like a half joke because I think the press conference happened a couple of days ago. Oh, yeah, and there goes my De'Aaron Fox trade. Breaking news on my phone.
That was Anthony Davis that was Anthony Davis at his press conference.
Right. Oh. But then I saw I forget what the actual dollar amount was. Maybe you can correct me, but now because of that trade, is Luka not like he can't get that Supermax deal or some shit?
It's because I think it's not your rookie deal that you have to still be under. Or maybe it is. You have to be whatever under your like original team deal to qualify for it. And that would piss me off even more. Like that would make me even madder if I was Luka on there. It says Luka Dončić just lost out on $116 million and the biggest contract in NBA history. He was eligible for a Supermax extension this summer with the Mavs, a massive 5-year, $345 million contract. Instead, Luka is now in the Lakers and no longer eligible for the Supermax. The biggest extension he can get in LA, 5 years, $229 million. That's still great.
Hey.
Still wonderful. But if you could have had 300,
right?
Man, like Nico, we need to talk, Nico. I just want to talk. Want to talk.
And I mean, Mark Cuban isn't majority owner of the Dallas Mavericks anymore, correct? It's the
right. Yeah,
it's like the Adelson and like the Dumont families like own it now. So like if you're them and you're like, I'm not trying to spend that much fucking money on one guy. Like you go to LA, they can pay you and we'll just go from there.
You look at convenient timing in the last week, right? We get it's the biggest plane crashes in U.S. history. conveniently around the same week as, the new president's stuff going in. Luka Dončić, superstar and Dallas Mavericks player, gets traded from the team. Mark Cuban, no longer the owner. Convenient timing. Mark Cuban did previously say in 2020, if I had to choose between trading Luka Dončić and divorcing my wife, honey, it looks like I'm going to court. Because he was never going to do this. So I would love to hear his process, because he's still a minority owner on the Mavs. So I guess he just has to, I guess publicly he has to be okay with it and cool with it. And I get it, and we'll go over this more, ahead of Ricks versus Gricks with Luis is on here and stuff. But this is huge. This is one of the biggest trades I've ever seen in my life, and this is for the Mavs, maybe short term, sure, this could be great. Anthony Davis will be a really good complement to Kyrie Irving if he can stay healthy. He's great defense, but Luka's 25 years old. Luka is 25. This is huge for the Lakers. And the Lakers were even, it seemed like they were even, they had conference calls with Anthony Davis after it happened, and AD was almost like, yeah, I get it. Yeah, if you got offered Luka. You didn't initiate? No? Okay, cool. Yeah, I get it. Because that's what was wild to me. Dallas initiated this conversation.
Right.
So they saw something that they didn't want, and the reports are that they basically thought of Luka as lazy, fat, and bad at defense. And what do? You send him to L.A., the home of Greek Gotti Bods, with the Greek god himself in LeBron, who he's going to get him toned up. He's going to get him on a regimen. Luka's entering his villain era. He's going to look better than he has ever. And
he's going to look so sexy next year.
You're going to get at least 2 MVPs and a couple championships out of Luka in L.A. I know that. I know that. I'll stake anything on that right now.
Well, yeah, I think the last report that I saw, I think he's he's easily in the top 10 heaviest NBA players that are currently playing right now. I think it said he ballooned to 270 something.
Yeah,
which is crazy, because you wouldn't, looking at him, you wouldn't he's not 270 something.
He's got a body I'm trying to get. He's right. It's comfortable.
Thick.
Yeah, thick, comfortable. He's not Jokic. Jokic looks like a loaf of bread that's come to life. He's not Zion, and we're not gonna body shame Zion here. We're not gonna jump on the Stephen A train, but it's not that. So yeah, this is the craziest trade I've ever seen. We'll dive into it more. It's Super Week. If you need an NFL comparison, folks, I saw somebody perfectly compare it to trading Joe Burrow to the Dallas Cowboys. The Cowboys being the Lakers of the NFL, trading Joe Burrow to the Cowboys for Dak Prescott and a first.
Ugh.
Yeah. I don't like it.
Ugh.
It's stinky, but you take it in a heartbeat.
The only trade of this magnitude, well, I guess not so much, because this player didn't really pan out to being anything, but the Browns, Texans, 3 firsts and a whole bunch of crap. It was 3 firsts, 2 fourths, and a third, I think, for Deshaun Watson. Yeah. And Deshaun Watson took that money. Even that trade was so insane. It was even more outlandish than the trade that Kevin Costner made in draft day. It was just even Hollywood couldn't even think that one up. But yet the Cleveland Browns did, which is wild to me.
Well, yeah, because I'm trying to think. This will be a good top 5 for the future. Top 5 biggest trade steals in sports history, because I'm trying to think of what's a bigger steal for the Lakers. Was it this or them getting Pau Gasol and trading Kwame Brown for him? That's a good steal. This has worked well for the Lakers in the past.
Yeah, that would be a very interesting top 5. Maybe the draft day trade with the Lakers and the Hornets for Vlad Divac and Kobe.
Oh yeah.
That's a huge one that had a lot of implications, or even the Pau Gasol trade when he came over from Memphis? I think it was still Memphis in 08. Yeah, it was Memphis, the Grizzlies. For like Kwame Brown and Mark and the rights to his brother and 2 first-round picks.
Damn, Kwame Brown was involved in a lot.
Right. I mean, we can get lost in the weeds with this, but I mean, Randy Moss for a 4th-round pick.
Well, what gets me too is that if you were initiating this trade for Luka, if you're Dallas and you're wanting to get rid of him, why not make that public knowledge? Why not make that public? And you only have a little bit till the deadline.
Right.
It would have been the biggest. It
more out of him. He's already been slacking his ass off on the court. If you watch his lazy play,
you would have
at that point you just find more suitors.
You would have had the biggest bidding war in sports history. They would have gotten a haul for him. Instead, you get Anthony Davis and Max Christie.
Send him to Orlando.
You get a bunch of guys who get this guy going.
Happy Chinooka.
That's the wrong one.
Who the fuck is Kevin Herter?
Wait, what was the trade for Brett Favre from the Falcons? Wasn't that something also that was insane? Didn't they get a first or a 2nd-round pick for Brett Favre?
It was something
in
the
90s.
Why?
We can dive deep.
Why couldn't the Wizards do this? We have Jordan Poole. Send them Jordan Poole. Send them Jordan Poole and all his cats.